I'm Mr. Miller. You may remember me from such great courses as Studio and Art, a full year experience, or illustration and cartooning, also a full year experience. Or you may remember me from such special events as field trips, or perhaps Art Academy meetings, or maybe Spirit Week. No matter how you remember me, I'm going to be your teacher next year for your senior year in the class that we're calling AP Studio and Art Design and Drawing. With this video, I'd like to help you generate some ideas and then actually set about making a piece so that everyone this summer, at the end of this summer, will have a series of sketches and a finished artwork to start off the school year. Now, I know it seems like a lot of pressure. This is something that we're going to be carrying out through most of the school year next year, but you can change your mind at any time. Just come in with a piece, and whether you like it or you don't, it'll help me steer you in the right direction when we come back in the fall. So, how do you start generating ideas? For me, I like to see what else is out there. I take a minute, maybe I'll do a Google search of contemporary artists. Maybe I'll look at some of the links that I gave you guys. Links that are in my Google Classroom right now take you to other students' works. Some of them, their whole body of work, some of them just individual pieces. And I gotta tell you, they're really inspirational. Gets me really excited about making art. Another thing you can do is start researching the things that are interesting to you. So maybe that's a social issue, maybe that's an animal, and finding out more about it. My piece, I began with my own personal interests. I love prehistoric things, fossils and dinosaurs and stuff like that. And then I kind of took that and steered it in a different direction when as my son was growing up, he was really into deep sea creatures. So I kind of found this combination of those two ideas with my piece. Look at other professional artists, look at student artists on the AP site, look at what other students from Lancaster have done. I have a video as one of the links that shows you all the things that students did this past year. And if all those things don't start getting ideas in your head, contact me. Okay, I'm going to be checking my email this summer, and I'll be looking for you guys to show me ideas you have, sketches, designs, or even help you with any problems that you might have. So once you have this idea, something in mind, you might want to think about it metaphorically, but maybe not. That's up to you. Maybe come up with some symbolism for it. Things like how the environment is being destroyed and other things like that they've been done many times. So you want to try to find a fresh take on it. Okay? So symbolism is a great way to do that. If you think back to your symbolism artwork that you did this past year as juniors, that's a great one to kind of bring you to where you might want to be for your concentrations, or for, I should say, your sustained investigation series. Once you have an idea, how do you set about making this artwork? I would look up some artists and just kind of see what their processes are. I would also start really researching my topic. I would go and find references. Okay, so for my image, I just, because prehistoric animals aren't around anymore, I had to use the internet and books, and I came up with pages upon pages of references of deep sea creatures. Now, you don't want to rely on any one reference too heavily, because whoever drew it or photographed it, they've made all the important decisions for you. You need to be making those decisions yourself. So even if you're just looking at someone's photograph, they decided where to crop it, what should be in focus, what should be out of focus. They decided what the lighting should be, the angle, all those things. So try not to rely too heavily on just one reference for something. Now, if you took the photo yourself, that's a little different. If you look at my final artwork, you could maybe figure out which reference goes with which image, okay? Because I mean, I couldn't take any photographs myself of these things, but I tried to change how the shading looked. I changed the colors a lot. I changed the angles even. After you've found references, start sketching. Now, for some of you, you might have a very direct, I'm going to make a picture of this thing. And if that's the case, you might be wondering, well, what do I have to sketch? Maybe your goal should be trying different media. I should be trying to do this fast. I should try to do this slow and meticulously. I should try to do this in a really energetic sort of way or gestural fashion. That's the sort of sketching you can do. Another important thing, if you're doing a combination of many images like I did, you should be considering how can you make the best layout. If I think about the one thing that's maybe weakest in some of my students' works, and they obviously they get better over time, but a lot of times it tends to be the composition. What can you do to make your focal point strong, but what can you do to also make the rest of the artwork still interesting? Okay, a lot of times I have students where it's just a focal point and there's literally no background or anything. I think that makes for a weaker image. So think about what can you do to make that background interesting, yet not taking too much away from that focal point that you have. And so do a series of sketches where you try to solve what your composition should be. Here's some of my sketches. Now, one thing I didn't account for when I was doing my sketches that you guys should account for, learn from my mistakes, kids, is making your sketches roughly the same proportion that you're going to make your final artwork. My artwork is far wider and shorter than my sketches, and so I had to kind of change things on the fly while I was painting. I'm happy with the painting, but still would have been a little easier, probably a little faster if I didn't have to kind of make things up as I went. Now, last thing, I know that's a lot, okay? Do your best. Contact me if you need help. But then also, if you don't need help and you're really rolling with it, don't let me hold you back. Just because I'm only requiring one artwork doesn't mean you can't do all 12. I'd love to see someone do that. If you did, I'd figure out something for you to do during the school year, but you'd be in a good place. Maybe you'd spend most of your time just kind of refining some of your images, or maybe redoing a couple, replacing one or two here or there. So just a thought. But the most important thing is that you find a topic that means something to you, that you enjoy, something that you look forward to doing, something that you've been longing to do over these years. Okay, and it could be a straightforward painting, it could be a comic page, one or two pages would be considered a single artwork depending on the level of detail in them. And if you look at those resources, the AP resources, you'll see students that have done comic pages. It could be a narrative piece. All sorts of different things have been done, and the possibilities really are endless. So if you find yourself stuck, contact me. Don't be afraid, and I'll try to get the ball rolling for you. But ultimately, I want you to have fun with this. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Look forward to seeing you in the fall. Bye now.